everybody, it is Misty Doan and it is another Missouri Star Live.
Can you hear us? Are we back?
All right, well, let's try that again. I'm Misty Doan.
Wait, yours is still off.
It's showing that it's working up here.
I don't know.
Oh, there we go. Are you there now?
Can you hear me?
Yes, perfect.
All right.
Sorry about that, guys.
We're good. Sorry about that, everybody. I am Misty Doan, and it is Tuesday, so we are doing our Missouri Star Live here on Facebook and YouTube. We're so excited to have you guys with us. As always, be sure and comment where you're watching from. We love to see where everybody's tuning in. Thank you so much to Barb from Massachusetts. Hope you're safe from those big storms you have. Mary in Modesto, California. Thank you guys for tuning in. Let's see.
I know we had a Houston. One of the first ones to sign in was a Houston.
Someone from Houston over on YouTube. We appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for being
Michigan,
here.
Kentucky.
Michigan, Kentucky, Jake says. Let's see.
What's up, Lori from
Patty wants
Lawrence,
to know where
Kansas?
Jenny is. She's not here today, unfortunately. It's just me. But Jenny has provided some great insights for our little project we're going to share today. So, either way, today we're gonna, I don't know about you guys, but it is like really, really, really hot in Missouri. It's kind of miserable. And so we thought we would cool things down and dream of some cooler weather and, you know, do a little Christmas in July project. I'm sure some of you guys have started on your Christmas gift giving projects, and we'd love to hear about what you're working on. So be sure and comment what you, if you have any good quilty things you're working on for Christmas or the holidays. And we are going to make this cute little half square triangle wall hanging, or put it on a table. It's very simple, and I just used a charm pack, a pack of 5-inch squares that I cut down to 2.5-inch squares, and we used Winter Village by Basic Gray.
Let's lay that down on the table so we can check it out.
Okay, here it is. I'll move some of this stuff out of the way.
Also, I have to tell you guys, just a quick apology. We got the feedback from last week's Facebook Live, and we are going to get better.
We will get better. Listen, we got a bunch of new gear because we're always trying to do better every week, and turns out there's a learning curve. It takes a little bit of practice and a little bit of getting used to, but we're thankful for the grace that you guys give us each week as we're learning and trying to make this good for you guys. So thank you for that. So either way, did you get a good shot of this, Jay? Everybody see the
Yeah, is everybody happy
project?
with that? Did you get a close up? Let me do this one right here.
All right, awesome. And to begin, I'll just kind of go over what I did. So like I said, we used a pack of 5-inch squares. And really for this, to make what you see here, you really only need about a half of your pack. So you can make 2, or you could use the rest of it to piece your backing, whatever you want to do with that. But to begin with, we're going to start by making these little half square triangles that give our points to our tree. And so to do that, what you're going to need, actually here, let me back up just a second before we dive in. So this pack had a really good mix of red, green, white, and then even this like brownish black color, which was exactly what I was looking for. And so what you actually need are 12, oh wait, hold on. I'm looking too far ahead. You need 6 green 5-inch squares, 10 white 5-inch squares, and 2 black or brown 5-inch squares. So the 6 green will make your tree, the 10 white will make your background, and the black or brown, you actually don't need the 2, but I wanted variety in my, I wanted it to be really scrappy, and so I used 2 just so I could have 2 different fabrics in the trunk itself. And so you're going to go ahead and take all those 5-inch squares though, and you're going to subcut them into 2.5-inch squares. So we're going to start by doing that. And so first,
yes, we want to make sure today for sure if anybody has any questions.
Yes, please ask us. I will answer questions as we go. We're working on this cute little tree. And so to start with, actually I'm going to do this one. So we've got some good contrast for you guys. And I'm just gonna start by making the squares that I need for my half square triangles. And so I'm just gonna stack, this is a white background and a green print with these cute little churches and houses on it. And I'm going to subcut these into 2.5 inch squares. So I love this little ruler because you can just sit it right on the edge and know that you're lined up. And we'll cut it in half this way and in half this way. This would be perfect for a rotating mat, but I've got most of them pre-cut and ready to go. So then what you're gonna do is you're gonna wanna make sure you put these right sides together. And then if you haven't made a lot of half square triangles, I recommend just drawing a line corner to corner. And we're gonna sew right on that line.
So somebody wanted you to say one more time how many red squares you used.
So for this one, I just took one of the, so you need 6 green squares to make the tree. When I made this sample, I just swapped one of those out for a red so I could get some variety in there. But really, it's up to you. I can tell you, I'm pretending all of these are red. I mean, all of these are green, just for ease of it, because we're just imagining the whole tree is green, and I thought that would be simpler. But like I said, you can swap out, you know, some of the brown and some of the red just for variety and patchiness, and it will work great. Just know that you need 6 green to total 5-inch squares to make the tree, and then 10 white 5-inch squares to make the background. And then I used 2 for the trunk. So that's where we're at. So now we've subcut our 5-inch squares into 2.5-inch squares. Yeah?
Somebody just said you could use a jelly roll. And
You could use a jelly roll. You could use a jelly roll. You would just have a lot of extra because you get so much more in a jelly roll. So if you had a lot that you wanted to make as gifts or something like that, that would be absolutely perfect because you would be able to make quite a few out of a jelly roll. So now that we've drawn the line corner to corner on our 2.5-inch squares, we're just gonna take this to the sewing machine and sew right on that line. Let's see here.
Somebody else asked if you can use triangles.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that question. What did you say, Jake?
I said somebody asked if you could use triangles, and yeah, well, these are half square triangles.
Yeah, we're making half square triangles for the outside. But I'm sure, I mean, if you have any other great ideas, I would love to see it. I'm sure there's lots of fun ways you can make a Christmas tree. So I'm just gonna trim up my threads here, and then we're gonna trim off. So we're gonna open this up, and then it'll now make a finished 2.5-inch square. And I always kind of just check and see which way looks more square to my eye before I trim it off. So that's what I've done there. And then we're just gonna trim off that 1/4-inch seam allowance and get rid of that. And then we'll press it open with the dark side up, and we'll press back just like that. So there you go. You can see our finished little half square triangle, and actually you're going to end up making 12 of these little half square triangles for this particular design. So I actually have made those, and really this project is all about the layout. So we're gonna just go ahead and lay out this whole quilt, and we did that. It's 6 squares across and 9 squares down. So to begin with, I just did, here, I'll turn this around so I can look at it.
She said she asked about, what, thangle? What is thangle?
Maybe she meant angle. What angle? I don't know. I'm not sure. All right, well, I'm gonna
give us some clarity there.
So I'm going to just start laying out with, we started with a solid background row, so just 6 background squares, and these are all mixed up. So I'm just gonna lay 6 of these across. Go, and these prints are so fun. I don't know if you guys can read this one, but it says fa la 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 la. It's so cute. And then the next row, we have 2 backgrounds, and then we move into our half square triangles, just like this. And see how the greens are going in towards each other there to start the very tip top of our tree. And then we just keep going, and the next row is exactly the same as that second one.
Okay, we're getting some clarity on this. They said tangles is a roll you can use to make half squares.
Oh, I've never
So that's
used that.
interesting. We'll
That
have to
is
try to get a
interesting.
hold of
We'll
one of
have to
those.
try one out, absolutely. Okay, so there's our first 3 rows. I'm gonna move this up because I know I'm gonna need a little more room to get all 9 rows. So let's just scoot these up a bit. Okay, and then now for the 4th row, we are going to bring the half square triangle out a little bit wider, and we're gonna bring in some solid green squares to fill in the tree. And then another half square triangle there, and another background square. And let me make sure I'm on the right path here. Yep, okay. And so then 1, 2, 3, 4.
Kim asked if this is a charm pack. She's
This
just checking.
is a charm pack project, Kim. And so we have cut that charm pack down into 2.5-inch squares. And now we made 12 half square triangles using those 2.5-inch squares. And then now we are just laying out our project. All right, I'm trying to make sure I stay on track. So then now our tree gets wider.
Yeah, so she's got a little cheat guide there.
Yeah,
She's got
I'm
her
just
stacks of
following.
green.
I've got my stacks of background green and the half square triangles, and I've got the project that I made sitting over here on the table, and then I'm just following along on my layout. So I'm just working down.
And I see people calling out you could use scraps for this. This would be awesome.
This would be awesome
Like
scraps.
One
That's
or two
why.
jelly roll strips.
Oh,
got 'em left
absolutely.
over?
Or charm squares. So that's why I gave you the number of 5-inch squares that you would need of each color, because it would be perfect as a scrap buster. So like I said, you need 6 green 5-inch squares, 10 white or background. These aren't solid white, they're printed and they look great. So 10 white 5-inch squares, and then 2 of the black or brown. You really only need 2.5-inch squares. So if you had a tiny scrap of the black or brown, that would be perfect. But I just wanted to keep that scrappy look even in the tree trunk. So that's why I went with what I did. But yeah,
So
this
Penny
is
was wondering, she missed the first part. What was the name of the fabric?
This fabric is called Winter Village by Basic Gray. And there is a link in the description or in the post where you can check that out. And there's also, if you want to check out our other Christmas lines, there's a link. We just launched, what do we call it, Mary? The style guide, a holiday style guide that has all kinds of fun Christmas ideas. So you can check that out as well. So here we go. We're almost done. We're coming into the home stretch on the layout here. You can see I just brought in the 2.5-inch squares that make the tree trunk here, these darker squares. And then we finish off with one last background row down at the bottom.
Everybody's saying the third row is wrong, but I think that's
It's
just
actually
the design.
not.
Yeah.
It's actually not. If you look here, let me see if I can sit this on top for you guys to see. It's exactly the same. So we've got the little peak, and then the peak joins into this one, and goes down. It's just hard to
we
see.
like those hefty trees.
Yeah, it's just hard to see until you start sewing these squares together. But these are so simple because then it's really just sewing squares, and you're just gonna, go one row at a time, and you sew all the way across and then sew your rows together. It's super, super simple. Anything else we should talk about? You have any questions?
Yeah, I think we go over the border. There was a few questions on the border.
Oh, perfect.
And the binding.
Okay, absolutely. So I just, since we had 2.5-inch squares on this whole project, I just kept a 2.5-inch border, and I used this red fabric here. I liked this pretty floral, and so I just cut a 2.5-inch strip And
Can you put it right there in the middle, the red?
can you see it there on the side? You good? Okay, so I just cut a 2.5 inch strip, and I added that to each of my sides. I measured the length of my project and cut these 2.5 inch strips to that length, added it to either side, and then added them to the top and the bottom. And then we also backed it with that same floral print. I just thought it was really fun. And then we quilted it. Let me see if you guys can see this.
When somebody said, how cool would that be if you made it into a stocking? Like,
oh, it would be so
with
cute with a little Christmas tree. Yeah, absolutely. You could make a little tiny tree, this one here. Once it's all sewn together, that would be perfect
also,
size.
I saw a comment earlier that was like a mini charm. What a great use of a mini charm.
Absolutely. Absolutely a mini charm. It would be perfect for this. So it's really versatile. It's a great small project, and I wanted to make sure you guys could see this cute quilting that we did. It's, I think it's called Pine Tree Meander. There's little trees and stars and moons. It's very, very cute. Are you getting a good shot there, Michael? The tree.
We got people wanting to tell you the supplies one more time.
Okay, absolutely. Let's go over the supplies one more time. So remember, this is all based off of the one Winter Village charm pack of 5 inch squares. But what you actually need if you want this to be a Scrap Buster project to make the center tree part is you need 6 green 5 inch squares, 10 white 5 inch squares, and 2 black or brown. And you're going to subcut all of those into 2.5 inch squares. So I actually have the numbers of 2.5 inch squares if you want that, so that you know if you're making it from a jelly roll. So I can give you that as well. So you need 12 white 2.5 inch squares. Nope, hold on, back up. 12 each of white and green 2.5 inch squares to make your half square triangles. And then you need an additional 12 green for the center of your tree, 2 for your trunk, and 28 background 2.5 inch squares. So hopefully that makes sense whether you are using a charm pack or a jelly roll. You'll have what you need.
Another opinion I just saw, people are saying, is instead of putting the little half square triangles on top, is throwing a star up there.
I thought of that. I thought it would be so cute to applique a star. And honestly, you could keep these and just applique the star right up here in that top row. Since you have space on the top and bottom, you could even add little presents, applique presents around the bottom. It could be so, so cute.
If you guys do that, for sure,
please send us a picture. Awesome. We would love to see it. So I hope you guys enjoy this project. It was super.
Oh, Rick Rack.
Oh, Rick Rack.
For trim.
Yep, for trimming it. It would be so cute. There's so many possibilities. Here, I'll let you guys see it one more time. All sewn together there.
You might pull out your phone there and see about any other questions.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, let me see if there's any questions that have come through. But I just think
We've got about 10 more minutes, so ask away.
Yeah, ask some questions if you've got them. For some reason, my questions aren't showing up at all on my phone. So that makes it more difficult. So if you see any, Jake, please just ask, and we will definitely. Oh, so I did see somebody said buttons. Buttons would look so cute as ornaments. You guys have the best ideas. So I hope that you guys try this. It took me just an evening. I made it just after work one night and whipped it up, and I hope you guys take the time to do it. It makes great little gifts.
There was some questions on the stuff. We can put we'll comment a comment with the stuff in it when it's also in the description.
We'll add it to the description.
We'll add it to the description. The quantities, is that what we're talking about? Yes. Yeah, I've got it all written down, so we'll add that to the description for you so you know the exact amounts we used. Also, Jenny wanted me to say that if you have like a small apartment, or you're in a dorm room, or you know someone who's in a dorm room or small apartment, this would be perfect. Sometimes they don't have room for a real Christmas tree, and they could just hang this up, and then they could put their gifts around that. Oh, I've made a mess of my layout, but either way, I thought that was a great idea.
Finished sizes were.
Finished size. Let's measure it real quick. We're done with that now. We'll just slide that out of the way.
Triangles are really versatile. So
yeah,
said you could do a Halloween one. You could.
Oh,
Turn these
absolutely.
into a pumpkin, a pineapple.
Yeah.
All kinds of stuff, for sure.
So it finished and bound for me. It measures 15 3/4 inches wide by 22 inches long. So that's the total measurements. I'm going to write that down. 15 3/4 by 22.
All right, so we're doing a close-up here again.
How much fabric did you use for the backing?
Oh, for
Zoom
the
in, Michael. We're gonna
backing,
get close up on the tree for you guys.
because of the width, I think I had to use a 1/2 yard. That sounds right. But that would back 2. So if you get a 1/2 yard and 1 charm pack, then you could make 2 of these little projects. So pretty awesome. And then the binding, I just got a 1/4 yard. So, and I used this green to kind of pop on the binding. Any other questions coming through? Oh, someone asked how
They said
often
maybe
we...
add the tutorial to the description on adding a hanging sleeve,
Oh,
which we have.
Yeah.
I know we have that on YouTube. Mom did do one of those.
that's a great idea. We can definitely do that because it would be perfect to add a little sleeve too, so you can hang it. I saw a question on here about how often we go live. We go live every Tuesday at 11 a.m. Central Time on both Facebook and YouTube. So if you tune in on Tuesdays, you can see us live, but we also save those for you to watch after. So you don't have to catch us live, but we would love to have you join us. Anything else?
They also want to know where to post their pictures.
In the comments on YouTube, I mean on Facebook, or
Instagram, you can always see
Oh.
MSQC.
Hashtag MSQC.
Show and tell.
okay,
Show
so
and
if
tell.
you post them on Instagram, you can hashtag MSQC show and tell, and we'll see them there. And you can also post them in the comments right on Facebook.
They're trying to talk me into making one. Since you had to make one,
Jake has to make one too. He's a great quilter.
I
So-
might make one. I will share it on Instagram.
I think that would be awesome. One of these days, I think we'll get these guys from behind the camera and we'll have them teach you guys how to do something because they're very talented. And they all sew. Michael even, he tried his first hand at sewing. You did? You sat here and sewed. He's saying no. But he'll work on it.
Are you seeing some of these questions?
I'm not paying attention. Where can we see this tutorial? Again, you can rewatch this live video anytime on Facebook and YouTube. As soon as it ends, it will be available for you to view again. We do not have kits available for this. I just made it up in my kitchen.
If you're looking for the pattern, it's right here.
But
We had somebody that said bells, crystals, mini battery powered lights. Really bling it
yes,
out.
I love it. I love it so
It would be
much.
amazing.
It would be so perfect. So I
And
hope
then,
you.
every time you push the star on the top, it plays a little jingle bells.
Yes, that would be the greatest.
No.
And then you would have to dance. Everyone would have to dance as soon as the music
No,
started.
motion sensor.
Oh,
Like
so
those
every
weird-
time you walk by, like
Every
one of the
time.
fish, except for your tree just sings to you.
Yeah.
I like it. It's great. There's no limit to your imagination and what you can do with this little tree. It's super fun. So thank you guys so much for tuning in.
The question too was, did you quilt before you joined the Doan family?
I didn't quilt, but I did sew. My grandma Richardson, on my dad's side, was an amazing sewer, and she actually was a quilter, but she taught me how to. I'm really tall, and so she actually helped me make a lot of skirts and shirts and dresses because it was hard as a little girl to find clothes to fit. So that's where I started sewing, is I sewed with her and my mom. And I learned the love of quilting from Jenny and my husband. My husband actually made a quilt before I did. That's the truth. So, it's sewing runs in my
Somebody asked
veins.
for metric sizes, and I think that's.
Oh, metric sizes.
I'm not sure on that.
Unfortunately, I don't know metric sizes.
Maybe somebody can do that math for us.
Yeah, if somebody's
2.54 centimeters per inch.
2.54 centimeters per inch is what our
Michael,
Our-
our mathematician.
our mathematician camera wizard tells
He
us.
also knows how many feet are in a mile. Is that right?
No, I forgot.
He's forgotten now.
Dang it.
He's under too much pressure.
5270. 5270.
Awesome. So
All right, well, sweet. It's so fun
thank
to
you
hang out with
guys
you
so
guys,
much
yeah.
for tuning in. We really appreciate you being here. We hope you enjoyed this fun Christmas in July project. And as a reminder, we will add those quantities to the description, and you can also check out the fabric that we used right there as well. There's a link for you to click, and we will see
Yeah,
you.
we'll see you next Tuesday.
We'll see you next Tuesday at 11 o'clock. See ya.